we officially have the world's quickest Toyota Previa. Alright, so what we're doing here today is pretty self-explanatory. Some may say it's stupid. I personally say it's being different. And if you know, I've set a lot of records with the Shelby. So we're gonna do the same with a Toyota Previa, right? So nobody that I could find on the internet has taken one of these down the drag strip and try to improve upon the factory time. This being a 95 rear-wheel drive, 2.4 I believe, supercharged, 4-cylinder, did 17.8 seconds in the quarter mile. Now, I will show you here. It is old, it does have 260,000 miles. It did it in 18.84 seconds with a 60 foot of 2.82 seconds, and let's see, 0 to 60 in 12.56. So that's what we got to improve upon. And how are we going to do it? Simple. We're going to start by doing basic things: weight reduction, tune up, gapping the plugs a little bit smaller because we plan to raise the boost. We're gonna look for some lighter wheels and tires. It's a Mustang pattern, so maybe a little drag pack or something. Cut the exhaust off. Let's see under here. Delete a bunch of things. Better air intake. You know, just some simple things, and we're gonna go through that and show y'all what kind of improvement that makes. And hopefully by the end of this, we're hoping NA to get this thing in like 15.9 or 16.0. Try to get it down close to 15, and then after we've done everything we can do to make this as fast as possible, we're gonna put nitrous on it and see if it survives. So here we go. So to start off, we're gonna take the muffler off in both catalytic converters. Like I said, it's kind of stupid, but at the same time it's not. All we got to do is go faster than 17.8 seconds to make this the world's fastest Toyota Previa. So, you know, create your own goals and set your own records, you know, be different. Also, side note, wish I could have got a video of it. This thing's done multiple really good one-wheel peel burnouts, and the tire's a little sus right now. It's a little sketchy being this close to it, so we're just gonna ignore that for now. All right, we got the exhaust all off. The muffler has something broken inside of it. No surprise, it did have an exhaust leak right there and somewhere back here between a bunch of the joints. So garbage. Let's see how it sounds. Also, this is not a waste because I've been trying to sell this thing for $1,000 for forever. And also it has a rebuilt title, and someone broke the ignition cylinder on it, so now you have to start it with a key. So that's wonderful. Oh, and it's dead. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right, jumped it off, got it running. Gauge cluster's broke. It says we're doing 40. All right, we got the intake box out of the way for the HVAC. What we're gonna do is go ahead and take out the HVAC box, or the front of it, I believe. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how all this works, but we're gonna delete all of this, work on the intake, and anything else that we dig into to find. All right, we got all of the HVACs, well, the first half of the HVAC box out. The back half is still behind the dash. We got all of this complicated air intake garbage out. Cleaned up this whole area a whole bunch. There's an old alarm back here I'm gonna get rid of. You can see it's a speed density. Technically, I guess is what it is. Cleaned up the whole area a lot. We can now see that the power steering pump and alternator are ran off of the little differential down here, because remember the motor is back there and you have a drive shaft that comes up to like a gearbox. It's like a it's, you know, it's like a V drive essentially, and it's got a crank down here. That crank is attached to power steering and the alternator, and on the back side we have the supercharger, an idler pulley, and then the AC compressor back here. So we'll dig into that later and see what we can do, but for now, you know, it's cleaned up a lot. You can see the intercooler down here, which is right through here on the side of the bumper. You could always do a bigger intercooler. There's a multitude of things, but right now we're just doing the basics and going from there. All right, we did a couple more things. We got the security system off, took the wipers off, aired up all the tires to 40 psi. They were at 20. They didn't look that low, but I guess because the van's really light. Pulled out all the mats, had a trailer hitch back here and all kinds of parts. Took all that out. We'll work on the interior later. About to go fill it up with some 93 octane and do a little test drive. We'll see how it goes. All right, little update on the van. So now all that's left for this part is to draggy it. Airbag's gone, some of the dash stuff, passenger seat, everything in the rear. We still got the headliner. We still got the main dash and the other airbag we can pull out, but we'll see what it does now. So everything under the hood that we can do easily is done. Interior is basically done. 93 octane, no exhaust. Tires are aired up. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. So yeah, basically if this doesn't work, pull the dash, tune up door panels, the rest of the carpet here, maybe an octane booster, try to up the boost. There's still some things we can try to do without doing nitrous, so we'll just see what it does. All right, the time has come. We go back to my spot, stop, reset the draggy, and it's gonna be really loud, but we'll see what it does. All right, here's where we're at now. So first of all, let me say the first pass, the 1884, it did not spin and it did not feel that good. It was just mediocre for a minivan. The second pass, as you saw, this thing, like I could not keep it from spinning. I had to pedal it, had to do 2 runs. The first time flooring it, just spin city. The second one, had to pedal it, and then when it shifted and floored it, it was a mess. So the 60-foot did suffer slightly, but we picked up a full second in the quarter mile. We picked up 2 seconds 0 to 60, and we picked up 7 miles per hour in the quarter. So big improvement. And you got to keep in mind, this still has really old gas in it mixed with the 93 octane I put in it, so it still needs to kind of clear that out. This van sat for a while because it had a water leak. Fix that. So it's got old gas in it. Still got to pull the dash, clean it in the intercooler, do some aero on the front end. I'm about to cut a full coil out of the rear springs to bring it down. We got to do wheels and tires, plugs. So there's still a lot of room for improvement, but keep in mind, we're only, you know, really, we're just gonna say I want to do a 10th faster. That will technically make it the world's quickest Toyota Previa, but obviously we're gonna go faster than that. But that's just the start, so we're almost there. All right, I cut a full coil out of each rear coil spring, lowered it down, lower the tire pressure back on the rear tires, and hopefully get some traction. So cut out the rest of the carpet in the front here. Doing everything I can to try to easily pick up a little bit of time. So let's see what it does. We officially have the world's quickest, not fastest, the world's quickest Toyota Previa. 1767. The all-wheel drives did 1772. Rear-wheel drives did 1782. We picked up barely any 0 to 60. Picked up almost completely 2/10 in the quarter. Best 60-foot time so far. Lost a little mile an hour. But we just found out that this rear brake is locking up on the van, so there's definitely still more in it. It's nice and hot. It was just smoking, but did a lot to the van. Still got more to do on top of nitrous sometime in the future, so I'm pretty happy with how it's come out. All right, so that's gonna do it for part one. Hope you enjoyed. There's much more to come. As you see here, we got a set of used slicks. If you don't know what that means, it's used new or new used, whatever you want to call it. Those are going to be going on the van. It's kind of getting away from the sleeper thing, but as far as going fast with the 4-cylinder, we're going to have to, you know, because it's going on nitrous at some point soon. We're going to have front runners too. But I'm going to keep it a secret what we're going to do to this van once either the trans or the engine blows, but this thing's going to stick around for a little while and it's going to be awesome. So till next time.